It is about 6:46 a.m. It is 59 degrees out here. It feels like a fall morning. Sorry for putting my finger in the way. I don't know why I tend to do that in some of these videos where I hold the phone. I'm even wearing warm-ups and funky socks and a sweatshirt because it is cold, or at least I think it's cold. But as soon as that sun reaches up over those trees, it'll probably warm up pretty good. And by that time, I should have my coffee. Right now I have water, and I'm going to be working on my morning pages, and then grab some coffee and probably come outside and read. All right, well, have a wonderful day, and I will be back later. Bye. Good morning. It's Friday, July 12th, and I'm sitting outside. It's about 59 degrees. It's 6:55 a.m. and it feels like a fall morning. I even have sweats on and a long sweatshirt and some funky, colorful socks just to keep warm. I don't know if it's just me that I just got cold early this morning. I know I've been feeling a little bit, I don't know, just not well, I guess. And I think it's just a flare-up of the fibromyalgia and the Hashimoto's, and I think that's why I'm so cold. Because normally I don't have issues with being cold. Well, normally I didn't, I should say, because in the last couple of years, things have changed a bit, but I thought I'd give you a look at the view out here this morning. And the dogs here, of course, my companions every morning. They love to be back here with me. I was sitting in front of the cabin earlier on when I first wanted to start doing the sitting outside and everything, but there's not a lot of room for them to run right in front of me there, and they need to wrestle and they need to mess around, so we started coming to the back, which has actually been pretty nice though. So I don't know what these two are eating, probably sticks or roots from things someone that we won't say her name, Pumpkin, they were both wrestling here yesterday, and then they were wrestling kind of close to me, and I turned around and she had one of her sunflowers in her mouth that was a good couple feet tall maybe, and it got snapped off, I think, when they were wrestling, and so they might be munching on that because it's gone now. It's not down here next to me anymore. And it didn't come out with the roots on it, so it just kind of snapped off. So yeah, it was one more flower, but they're dogs, I guess, and it was kind of growing in a really weird spot that in right in the middle of this little patio section. I can kind of show you. Let's see if this works. There's like some of these pavers, I guess that's what they're called, and with all the rains that we've been having and them wrestling, it's in the trees, all the pine needles, it's kind of a bit dirty, so, but that's usually where I sit, and this is usually what happens in front of me. These two are hilarious. Alright, I'm going to do morning pages, and then I'm going to grab some coffee, and then I will be back on later to share some more from the day, or possibly something out of a book that I'm reading. Have a beautiful morning. Bye. Good morning. I'm back. I have my coffee now, and I'm trying a new method to my coffee because I ran out of coffee bombs. I went to pick them up last week, and I didn't find any at the store that I was at, and I didn't feel like going to another store in Santa Fe to pick one up. So I picked up some coconut creamer that I used to use before, which is, I think, the Coffee Mate brand. And I finally got coffee bombs yesterday, and so I put a coffee bomb and a little bit of the creamer together instead of the monk fruit, and I just wanted to see how that worked, just so I can finish up the creamer. And this will be less creamer anyway, less sugar with these, because these have no sugar in them and they are flavored and they kind of give the creamy texture anyway. So I think it'd work with just a little bit of creamer instead of what I normally would put in to black coffee. So yeah, that's what I'm trying today. And like I said, it's still cold. I'm in a sweatshirt. I still have my warmth on, some funky socks, and I think I took a picture or video that I'll put in of the socks because I don't wear these ever. I hardly ever even wear these in the winter because they're not the most comfortable socks inside shoes. So I have my like slip-on flip-flop Adidas looking things. I don't know. With socks on. Yeah, it's a great picture, isn't it? But that's usually the morning. I usually just use those because as much as I love shoes, and I was thinking about like what kind of things to share in the vlog today, and I was writing down different things about growing up and stuff like that. And since I started talking about the socks and the shoes, I thought maybe this will be a story. When I was very young, I don't know, I may have been 2 or 3 years old. I'm not sure. My dad used to manage a shoe store called Carl's Shoes in Las Vegas. And I used to get all the new shoes, whatever there was there. So I had lots of shoes, really cute shoes. And I think that's where my love of cute shoes comes from. Although I don't like to wear shoes. I prefer being barefoot. And more so now that I'm older. And I think part of that is because I do have heel spurs. And then if I get hot, it's very hard for me to cool down. So if my feet get hot, it's really hard for me to cool off. And of course today I'm freezing, so I don't know. It just depends. But for the longest time, it was mostly that I was not able to cool down. And now I kind of have the opposite problem sometimes. But anyway, so the other day that I went to Santa Fe was, I don't know, last week maybe? I don't know. But I wore one of my favorite dresses, and then I wore some of these like canvas shoes with socks. And it was fine in the morning, and then when it got hot, it's like my feet felt like they're on fire. It literally felt like my feet were on top of a heater. And I couldn't do anything about it because I was in town, and I didn't take any extra shoes, like sandals or something, which I need to do next time. That's like one of my things to put in my go bag, I guess. But yeah, so I remember these one shoes, and this was later on, so I don't know if he was still working there or not. He may have been. I'm not even sure. It was before I turned 5. I might have been maybe 3.5, 4 years old, because in that picture that I'm thinking of, I don't think my sister Jermaine was in there. She was born the December before I turned 5. So this is a picture of my dad's family and all of us kids and everything. And I was standing in the front, and I had these cute little like brown leather shoes that that for some reason that comes up, and I think I was wearing brown corduroy pants and the shirt like that matched. My mom always had us in these matching outfits, and we still complain. Me and my sisters complain about all of the Easter lacy dresses with the little lacy tights and lacy socks and all the hats. And we have some pictures. I mean, my mom had a ton of pictures. We went through them not too long ago, and it was just seeing some of our old hairdos and some of those dresses and like the dress, like things that we dressed up in, then just some of the stuff that we chose to wear when we got older. I was in middle school in the 80s, elementary, middle school. And so like that style came out in some of the clothes that I wore. And it's funny now because everybody wants to wear this stuff, and I'm thinking, I look back at some and I thought, what was I thinking? I had these, for whatever reason, the one picture it comes from, because I think I took pictures with a couple of my friends back then. One was Valerie and the other was Katie, and I still have the pictures somewhere. But I think they were school pictures or something, or maybe it was at Kmart. I don't know. But I was wearing these black jeans, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I had that little fold up on the bottom where we would kind of fold them over that one way and then roll them up, and those like slip on, I don't know, kind of pointy shoes. They were the style of heel back then, but these were the flats, and they were my mom's, and I borrowed them to wear that outfit. And this blue shirt with like quarter sleeves, I think, and it had these funky buttons. They were really big, round, white buttons, and the style was just that 80s style. Those like, triangular shapes and different things all over and all the colors. And I think back and I'm like, geez, no wonder I wore black when I got into high school for a long time. I wore black in my 20s because there was a lot of color back then, and I don't know if I minded it all that much. Looking at it now, I'm thinking, geez, didn't I look great? And there was another picture that I have of, I think it was me, my parents, my sisters, and my brother. I was probably it had to be middle school as well. Another neighbor passing. I think it had to be maybe 7th grade. I don't know, 6th, 7th grade. But my Pia, my aunt, had made me an outfit. It was a vest and a skirt, and they were fluorescent orange, and I had a white t-shirt underneath with like, I don't remember what it said on it, but it had like the lines like in different colors, black and like orange. I don't know what I heard over there. The cat's probably doing something, or the dogs. And I think, what in the world was I thinking? I was wearing fluorescent orange, and now I probably would wear that. I guess it's just phases we go through, but I thought it was a closed outfit, and then my Pia had made it for me, and I don't know whatever happened to that. It'd be awesome to find it just to see what it looked like now. But yeah, there was like a lot of different, fun things. And like I said, I love shoes, and I think that's where that started. Also, the book thing started when I was really young as well. I think I had to be about that age, 2, 3, maybe 4, probably 4 or 5, maybe. I'm not even sure. But my dad brought me a couple of these books home one time after work, and they were these pretty big sized books that have 4 fairy tales in each, and they had the pictures and everything. So for some reason, the memory sticks out of me sitting in the front yard in front of the mobile home that we lived in, and just going through the books. I know I used to sit under the ponderosa pine tree that we had there a lot when I was younger, and I used to pick the little needle with that has a little sheath on it. I'd pull that off the tree, and then I'd take off the sheath very gently and just kind of, get lost in I don't know what, and then I would put the pine needles in my mouth, just like, I don't know if it was just like sticking out of my mouth, and I thought it was great. And I sat under that tree quite often. I really liked just being out there in nature, I guess. I think that's what I like about just being out here, trees, and just the smell of the pine, and just kind of enjoying that time in the quiet of nature. And it's just a really healing experience, and peaceful and calming. And being that I am a very, I don't know if I'd say high strung, but a very kind of stressed out person. Like I've always dealt with that. I need this time in nature. So that's why that was part of the reason of why I started doing the make sure I sit outside every day, because I used to do it quite often, especially when we moved out here at the beginning. I spent a lot of time outside. My in-laws had a swing up in the middle area between the cabin and house. And I used to spend a lot of time out there. I have a lot of pictures of that time. I think I didn't do any video type stuff. And if I did, I don't know where they would be. But I did do that a lot, and just sit there with my headphones on and music or reading a book. And you talking about that makes me feel like I need a nap, because I know I just almost fall asleep there. I would never fall asleep, I don't think, but just, there. And geez, the sun is getting warm now. But it's just one of those things that I really enjoy. And being that a lot of, like in therapy, she's talked about tools to help during high anxiety moments, panic attacks, or just when you're feeling out of sorts, something's going on, to bring you back to that present moment. And a part of that is, touching something that's there next to you, focusing on something there next to you, being out in nature to have the calming experience, putting your feet in the dirt, in the grass, touching the trees. So I think for me, some of the other, there's like the deep breathing techniques and sitting still and breathing. I have a really hard time with that. And sometimes that makes me even more anxious because I have trouble sitting still when I'm having high anxiety. So coming out here and just hearing all the noises in nature, and just having the dogs around, and my cats are usually up on the their walkway up there, and just kind of just being in the moment. And it has really helped a lot with just dealing with all the things that happen in life. And it's enjoying the beauty that God created, and just sitting in his presence, and just kind of remembering that he created everything and called it good. And even when there is hard things and bad things happening, we can find his goodness, his love, and his healing all around us. And I think that is a focus that I need to have in life. And like this year, like I've shared before, praise was my word of the year, and I was having a really hard time finding things to praise God for, because I was bombarded with one loss after another, and just at times parking myself in the grief. And I know grieving is different for everyone, and it's difficult, and it's something that we'll all go through in our own way, and there isn't a wrong way necessarily. But at the same time, we shouldn't park ourselves in it and stay stuck, because then we don't grow, and we're not able to get to, and not necessarily the other side of grief, because I don't think there is another side of grief. I don't think you come out in a side where things are much, that you're not going to grieve your loved ones. I think what it is that you just can feel the pain, but at the same time, just be able to remember and focus on the good things, more than on the actual hurt from the loss. And that's, my goal is just to people to walk through it and not sit in it, and just rely on God more for that. I'm going to move out of sun and I will be back. All right, now I'm on the other side of the patio and the sun's will eventually get here too. As you can see, it's already shining on me, but I don't want to be in the sun for too long and get burnt because I just hit the microphone. I still forget that I have it on sometimes. But now I don't know what I was going to talk about for the rest of the video. I guess just a little story time. For, just kind of things that memories, I guess, that I have in different things. Hold on just a minute. Pumpkin! Alright, these two are nuts. They're out there getting things they're not supposed to. The good thing about them, though, is that if I tell them no, and they hear me or they see me start getting up, they'll drop whatever it is and come over here. They won't bring it to me. Sometimes they will, but most of the time they just stop what they're doing and have to come and wrestle around me, so then I'm able to go get it. But share some of your stories in the comments below if you have anything that you remember about some of the things that you enjoy now that maybe started when you were younger by your parents giving you something that just stuck to you, like my shoes and books and things like that. Music was a major thing with us, but I will talk about that in another video. I do want to, I know I mentioned this before, I want to have like a question and answer video, so if you guys have any questions, just put them in the comments below, and I will get to them in a video. I've seen these done before and I think they're really interesting, and I thought it'd be fun to do one. And if you also have questions for like my husband or like something that we both can answer, we'll try to do a collaboration for something like that on both of our channels. So just leave those in the comments below. Share some of your stories. I hope to hear from you guys, and thank you for joining me for some morning coffee and some entertainment from our doggies. And I will see you in the next one. God bless you. Bye.